Unidentified fried object. Just a little joke there. Our next guest has been studying UFOs for nearly 30 years, and he says... 40 years. Well, there you go. Our next guest has been studying UFOs for nearly 40 years, and he says that he doesn't think, he knows that we've been visited by aliens from another planet. He is a nuclear physicist and a space scientist. Is that all correct?
That's true.
I'm glad I've got part of it true. Let's examine the evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Stanton Friedman. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Pleasure to be here.
Now let's, hypothetical question. You're in your backyard one day at home. Where do you live?
Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada.
Marvellous. And a spaceship lands and aliens get out and they ask you to go with them. Do you go?
Yes. Lead me to your takers.
Why would you go?
Curiosity.
Wouldn't you be afraid?
No, I've been studying the data for so long that I don't feel that they're a threat to us. If they wanted to hurt us, they would have already. They've had plenty of time.
Why do you think they'd want you to go with them?
I have no idea. Put me in a zoo, I suppose.
Yeah. Or something worse.
I'm not going to worry about it. I'm old enough. I've lived my life. I'd like to see what's on the other side of all this stuff I've been studying.
Okay, now the most famous UFO incident, correct me if I'm wrong, probably in the history wheel, happened at Roswell in New Mexico.
Yes.
Just tell us what happened there.
I'm the original civilian investigator. I want to make it clear I was not there in 1947.
Right.
Big summary, there's books, there's everything. Apparently 2 saucers crashed, one northwest of Roswell, 75 miles, one 100 miles west of there. The balloons that have been put forth by the Air Force don't look like those balloons at all.
We made those up.
Yeah. And the crash test dummies and all the rest of that stuff. But no, apparently 2 saucers crashed, alien bodies were recovered, a press release was put out. Within 6 hours, the story was done. Official cover-up, just a radar reflector from a weather balloon. The first explanation was a flying disc was recovered. The term UFO wasn't used. Second explanation, just a radar reflector from a weather balloon. Third explanation, it was a mogul balloon, a collection of 23 balloons, 600 feet long. Then there's a fourth explanation. I'm waiting for number 5. The fourth was the cutest. Well, you know, all those people talked about bodies, the Air Force says?
Yes.
You know what? We checked our records, and we were dropping crash test dummies all over New Mexico, jet fighter seats and stuff like that, you know? There's a little problem with that. None were dropped before 1953. So they invented time travel for crash test dummies, you know, from 55 to 47.
Yes.
Second, I talked to one of the colonels who was in charge of the program. He was mad. The dummies...
You mentioned covering up. This is where I have a problem with conspiracy theories, because I don't believe that the governments of the world are intelligent enough to be able to carry on this cover-up.
Those are the people who do the unclassified work. The classified work guys are real sharp. The Director of Central Intelligence has an annual budget, according to a court case that he lost a couple of years ago, $26 billion.
Yeah, but that doesn't...
Black budget. Black budget. Congress doesn't even know where it's being spent. I've got documents, I'll show them at my lectures all over the country in the next few weeks, that prove that the Central Intelligence Agency, the National Security Agency, have been withholding data on UFOs.
Well, why would they be doing that? Why the cover-up?
I don't speak for the government. You've noticed that.
Why do you suppose why?
I think the first reason is you want to figure out how the darn things work. They make wonderful weapons delivery and defense systems, fly circles around anything we got flying. You set up your secret project. Rule number 1 for security is you can't tell your friends without telling your enemies. They watch television too, Frank. Second problem is the other side of the same coin.
Don't take me if you arrive. I don't want to go. Take Stanton.
What if the other guy figures out how they work before you do? The Russians, the Chinese,
right.
Anybody. How do you defend against them? You don't want them to know. You know, they know. The third problem is the big one, the political problem. If there was to be an announcement tomorrow by highly trusted individuals around the world, the Queen Mother and the Pope, there's an odd couple for you, saying that indeed some UFOs are alien spacecraft, what would happen? I think mental hospital admissions would go up, church attendance would go up, stock market would go down. The biggest thing that would happen, based on my 600 college lectures, is that the younger generation would immediately push for a new view of ourselves. Instead of Aussies, Canadians, Greeks, Peruvians, Earthlings. There's no government that I know of on this planet that wants its citizens to owe their allegiance to the planet instead of an individual government. Nationalism's the only game in town.
Well, I know one thing that would happen if they did come clean and admit that we are being visited by aliens is Tonight Show ratings would immediately skyrocket. And I think that would be a fantastic thing to happen, don't you?
I can't complain. My books will sell like crazy.
Now, there's been heaps of movies done on this subject. Do you have a favourite depiction in movies or television of aliens, one that you think comes the closest, according to your research?
Actually, the one that I liked the most was the UFO incident. This is the story of the abduction of Betty and Barney Hill. James Earl Jones played Barney. Estelle Parsons played Betty. I was a technical advisor on the film. The first time there was ever a black man and a white woman in bed on television in the United States.
Well, there's a breakthrough for a start. Yeah.
Yes. It was very well done. And I was pleased about one thing. You know, television, as you know, isn't always responsive to reality. Kind of, they do things the way they want to do them. I brought in a slide of a bust of an alien done from drawings done by Barney under hypnosis, etc. The guy shaping the clay to make the mask for the beings who played the beings in the movie started shaping the clay in response to the slide.
Right.
Now, normally on television, they really don't care what the truth is. They're going to do their thing, imagination instead of truth. But I thought they did a very good job on that.
Well, we've got I've got some examples here of Earthlings that I feel may be aliens, and I'd like to draw upon your experience and expertise.
We'll give it a shot.
Here's the first one here. Is this person an alien?
Admittedly, he's very far out, and he's not from here. It's obviously a wig he's wearing, because aliens don't have hair, and he's got artificial eyebrows.
So there's a good chance you think that he is an alien.
And he doesn't seem to have decided what sex he is either, so it could certainly be an alien.
Okay, so just have a look at this next one. Is this man an alien?
His thinking would seem to be alien, judging by the way the eyes are set and the mouth there. There's a shot at it, maybe. His ears look a little normal, but...
Okay. Well, this last one, this guy, what do you think of this guy?
He's obviously far out. I mean, you know, you can't complain about guys with beards and mustaches, but look at the hairline.
So you think...
Earthling has a hairline like that.
Absolutely not. Although
I'd vote him as alien. Yes.
Although have you been on Bert Newton's show yet?
Yes.
Well, there you go. We want to talk hairlines. G'day, Bert. Would you thank Stanton Friedman? Thanks, Stanton. Very interesting, sir. Pleasure. Very interesting subject, and this is where you can hear Stanton speak. All these dates here. One other thing. What if aliens came to Earth and they were looking around and they saw synchronized swimming? What do you think they'd think of that?
Obviously a religious exercise.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Very interesting subject, and Stanton's a very interesting speaker, as you've heard, so go along and hear him speak. Centuries Collapsing, which is quite apropos, and it's the latest album from Perth trio Effigy. Now, the band is touring...